I think this is a wonderful start to a movement in the churches to both reclaim our heritage, both as Lutherans, who stand up and speak in public, especially when it comes to issues of justice and equality, but for churches united together through the NCC, as well as interreligious partners, that we have work to do in this country to continue the civil rights movement, to make sure everyone in this society has a voice and a vote that counts.
I also think that it's a good way to raise up where much of this started so many decades ago, and to continue to see that we're going to continue with the fight to end racism, and do everything as church, as a nation, for those that need to know that it still exists and we're still going to continue this struggle. So to lift it up among all the churches here today, and hear from our leaders of the churches to say how we're going to just continue and let the rest of the world know that this is not going to go away. We're just here to march until we can see some improvement.
Well, it's important for me to be here today is for hope for the future. It's important for me to be here today so that I know that I'm a piece of something larger than myself, and that piece of that larger thing is love and unity, and trying to live out the first century church where we pulled everything in and there was no one in need. Justice is not just justice socially, it's also injustice, economically. And I think the church has to be there and has to lead the way.
I like the ecumenical aspect, and everyone pretty much said the same thing. So I think, we're more alike than we are different, and it gives me hope for the future.
I'm very impressed by the diversity of the presenters. Really like the ecumenical service at the beginning, the music. I think the religious community is very well represented.
Today I see people gathering together and in the spirit of oneness, unity, and love and justice. And I believe that as we came together today, we did come together with truth to eradicate racism. And I think that this is a wonderful start. We have people of all churches, nationalities, and all people coming together, and I think that is very, very good.
Well, we started out at 7 o'clock this morning with a silent march to this place, and we went through the Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial, which was deeply moving. I've never seen the memorial before, but to walk through that cloven rock, and in the presence of people of all races and ethnicities in this country was really deeply moving. And it's pretty amazing to see all these church folks showing up, not just from our church, but from all over, to say this is something we have to take a stand on.
Well, to be here as part of the church, I would say that we're living out the church's mission, which is reflected in Micah 6 and 8, what is required of us, but to do mercy and do justice and act out in peace.
Well, I think the first time around, the church was slow in joining Dr. King. His letter from the Birmingham jail, to me, proved it. When I read that as a teenager, it just blew me away that how inactive the church was and being part of the change that is needed in this country. And this time around, in commemorating the 50 years, we need to be in the forefront, especially the white churches. And so it's good to see a lot of mainline Protestant churches here and a lot of white pastors here. So it's very important for us to be here this time around.
This is what Jesus would want us to do, I think.
Well, I think that this is one of the social issues that we face as a society, and if the church can't get out in front of this, then what good are we?
it is extremely important because that is a part of what church is. We need to go beyond the walls. This is a church beyond the walls, reaching out to our brothers and sisters, coming together as one to be reconciled to each other, because we need to be reconciled to each other in order to be reconciled to God. So we must come together as a church.
Well, it's important for the ELCA to be part of it because this is what God wants for the world. This is God's vision. If you take a look at Revelation chapter 7, it talks about people from all nations, all languages, streaming to the throne, singing praise to the land. And our church does not reflect that diversity yet. And so we need to show up to show support, but also to take a look at ourselves and see what we need to do so that we might reflect the communities in which we're planted. It's important for us to see this.